Right on.
You drinking away?
The man.
So I have a question for you. People are asking you questions and want to get a sense of your hit on things because you're so respected and loved. But you don't really feel like talking. Would there be a way to make it more comfortable?
Yeah, I'm
for you
gonna
to
kick
talk?
him in the
I am
shins.
comfortable.
Okay. I mean, because people really want to hear what you have to say rather than like in one sentence.
That's
or two.
nothing to do with my comfort.
What does it have to do with? If not-
You want to know what I think? Ask me a question.
There you go.
Be direct.
Okay,
Really
I wanted to
direct.
ask you about this giving thing because we were talking about Bill Gates' giving, and I know you had talked about having all this land in Poland that you decided to give away, and I'm still trying to sort of understand what is the practical balance between having certain amount of sort of having certain amount of things like owning a house or having certain goods versus sort of the other example you set about giving away everything that you had. So what is the balance there? Because he gave away all the land he had in Poland to the farmers.
Right, but what kind of a balance are you looking for?
Well, I guess what I'm asking is,
How do you describe the balance?
no, what is proper to own?
Pardon me?
What is proper to own? Or how much is
There's
proper?
nothing wrong with owning property, provided you put it to work. If you don't, then you're in trouble. You don't really do what you should be doing. We should give.
So the same thing with owning money or anything else, right?
That's absolutely, sure. Give. That's what yoga teaches.
So either it's being used,
Pardon me?
either it's being used or it's being given away. Is that what you-
No, it does. Well, it's not up to you. You give, and how people take what you give is up to them, not up to you.
Right.
But you have to give.
But do you is it proper? When you say you have to give, what does one keep for oneself or one doesn't?
Well, you have to take care of yourself first. Yoga says so. As much as you give to yourself, so much you must give to others to maintain that beautiful balance of love. It's not my teaching, it's the teachings of yoga. I just embrace it. Forgiving is the thing, sure. I don't really know why the king gave all that acres to my ancestor many years ago. I don't know why he did it. He didn't have to, but it was nice.
It was nice.
My ancestor saved the king's life, so that's okay. But I never really think, even as I was growing up in it, I never realized, I never thought that it was okay to do this. No, I didn't think so, because we didn't really give enough. So I thought, well, the best thing to do is to give the whole thing, give it away. And I did. Perfectly okay.
Who did
If
you
you're
give it away
happy.
to? Who
Pardon
did you give it away to? Who
Pardon?
was it given to?
Now give it to people who live there.
Who were like
It wasn't just,
People are actually
It-
working the field.
There were tenants there,
no,
basically.
they were, yeah, they were, I suppose,
They were like
you could call
serfs,
it that way. No, but they had to pay money to us or to me.
Right, the landowner.
Right, the landowner.
Tenants.
But
And were you at that point in your life where you didn't need that land to give to yourself so that you had what you needed? Is that?
None of my ancestors ever needed that.
Yeah, well, right, yeah, but I mean,
to survive.
right, yeah,
No,
and you didn't
I
either.
I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
No. Plus the fact that Poland was still is communist, and I don't agree with communism. So this was the best thing I could do, to do something about it.
What town, what city? What is
Okay.
it? What city? If I was to go to Poland, I want to look up.
No, it's land. It's land,
Oh.
not city.
Well, land.
Where?
Near what city?
Where?
It's a huge area.
What's the city or the
Yeah.
countryside?
It's the south west and part of southeast of Poland. A huge amount of land, hundreds and hundreds of acres. Anyway, I'm happy I give it away because that's where it belongs. Those people really make that land work. So it was theirs.
They farm it now, yeah.
Oh, you bet. They've been farming it all along.
Can someone take it away?
No, nobody can do it anymore.
Because now they have titles.
No, because all
Okay.
these people. I hired a lawyer many years ago. One of my trips to Poland, I hired a lawyer and told him what I wanted. And it took him years to do this. To go contact all the villages, little towns and villages that were on our land, and tell them, said, hey, this is yours.
So it would be interesting, once it becomes theirs, did you have covenants that they have to pass it on to their heirs?
Oh, no,
Or
I
could
don't
they
have-
then sell it
no.
for whatever the fair market value was once you had gifted it to
No,
them?
that's what the law says, that they can do it. They can pass it on to their children or something.
Or anybody, not just their
They
children.
Or
can do-
sell? Or
they can
sell?
do whatever they
Sell.
Can they sell it for a profit?
It's open. Open.
No, it doesn't. The law doesn't say really.
Jed wants to know if he can buy it and start
And then
developing
sell it
it.
again. Open some, start building some condos.
Well, I know it's not up to me anymore. I did what I thought was right.
And you still do. Do you
I
still?
still feel that way. I feel good about it.
Well, Steffan's father, when his parents passed away,
Mhm.
he became the owner of their land in Massachusetts, very close to, in Concord, very close to Walden Pond and all of that. And he spent a lot of time making sure that he didn't want to own it himself, so he made sure that it was developed in a way that was most complementary to the area, so that it wasn't so congested with people and all of that, and so it's lovely homes on large pieces of property and that kind of a thing, and the name of the street is after his mother and those kinds of things. So it was good. It was good for Dean to be able
Sure.
to pass that on, and he took the responsibility to do it the way he felt was correct. So,
Right.
similar to what you're saying.
Right.
Stuff. Cha-ching.
Money?
Money?
kidding.
No, I didn't get any money. I didn't sell it. I gave it away. Nobody sold it to my ancestor
You didn't give it.
hundreds of years ago.
You didn't give it.
Dean did not. My father did not give it. Right. He
He created,
sold it. But he,
controlled what was going to go
yeah,
on.
he probably
He had
gave,
covenants on it.
Yeah.
he probably gave a little bit in every sort of way while he was selling it to the right.
Right.
So,
But that's how he gave it.
big
He gave it
difference.
to the right people to take care of it the way he wanted it to
Right.
be remembered as.
Right.
Whether it was or not?
Right. Big difference.
Oh, it is. Similar but different.
Similar, yeah.
Yang, yang.
Feeling of responsibility, but
And are you from India originally?
Yes, yes, I am.
And where's your family?
Well, my parents are still in India, and so is other parts of my family as well.
Mm-hmm. Are they going to give land away too?
Well, they don't have land to give away.
But if they did, they would,
Yeah,
right?
sure. Well, my father has one house, and he's actually been consulting me about what to do with it and how to give it away and what kind of foundation or something to
your,
build around it.
your father's father is, I only learned this a month ago, some famous foundation starter like Bill Gates.
Yes, actually, I also learned it only a few years ago, but apparently my grandfather started a not-for-profit organization, which is apparently the biggest educational not-for-profit in the world right now in terms of the number of students
Wow.
it teaches.
Your grandfather?
Yeah.
Jeez. That's
You know,
admirable.
This actually brings up something. When I was meeting with you regularly, you told me about a vision of teaching children how to be leaders
Mm-hmm.
and then sending them out into the world to see what would happen. And
Right.
I knew that before I met you,
Is that right?
of this vision.
Huh.
I knew of this. And when I met you, I told you about him, and I didn't tell you about the leader thing. And you went,
Now you're telling me.
right. Now but I heard ideas coming out of you years after you met him that were similar to ideas I'd heard from him,
Who, him?
Michael.
Dr. Gladych. So Dr. Gladych has ideas. I was exposed to them. I listened to Sanu after several years of him meeting with Dr. G. And Sanu started telling me about how he wanted to go to India and create leaders. And I knew where the idea connected with. What is that idea of yours exactly? You mentioned a place on Orcas Island where it might happen, different ideas that it could spring up.
Well, it doesn't really matter where it happens.
Mm-hmm.
We don't teach our children to live up to their capacity. So that's what I said. You have to, if you teach a child how to be a leader, chances are that kid is going to do more than he would have if he didn't know, if he didn't become a leader.
That's so interesting because you know what? I think Danny is a natural leader, and I wonder what to do to nurture that in her. How would I? What do you think would be things to do to nurture that in her? I think about that all the time. Well, not all the time.
Well, I always wanted to work with Dan. I still do,
Oh, it's off.
because I knew Danny before she was born.
I know. You transferred a lot of prana. She is who she is because of the prana you transferred to her. It's true.
Nice.
So I already feel involved in her life,
And connected to her.
connected to her.
Yeah.
Sure.
So how do you teach kids to hit their potential?
Say that again.
How do you teach kids to hit their potential? How do you make them leaders in general?
Well, present some challenges to her. See how she accepts the challenge. Simple.
What about
And once you see how she accepts the challenge,
Right, then you can help. You can correct if necessary.
Michael, does birth order make a difference?
Say again?
Birth order make a difference with children or onlys?
I have a feeling it does, but what that is, I don't know. I never really studied that aspect of life. I know children, say a number of children, some of them are okay, heading in the right direction, they are creative, others are not. And why that is, I do not know.
Where are you in the birth order? Are you the
Pardon?
oldest?
Number one.
Yeah.
Of course. And
I
what
don't
was
know.
Pangy?
No,
What
wait.
was Pangy
What about
in her birth order?
Your wife, where was she?
Where was her birth order?
She is number 3.
And
Three of
there,
three of how many?
there you have
The
it.
youngest.
Dick and me.
That's right.
1 and 3.
That's
1
right.
and 3.
What do you
Right.
mean?
3 out of how many?
3.
Out of 3.
Baby, oldest.
Yes, my adage whenever they called me the baby of the family was they saved the best for last.
Yes. Well, but I think there is a correlation of
something
birth
to
order
it.
in relationships.
Yes,
Sure.
yes.
In relationships,
Oh.
what's your,
I will
where
teach
were
that to
you?
someone when
Oh,
it's
well,
appropriate.
Well, I am the
Birth
baby.
order?
I'm in the middle
Yeah.
of this, but there's 7 years
Right,
between me and my
right.
brother, and
Yeah,
9
yeah.
years between my
No, I'm
sister.
just saying.
Where are you?
But it's different. There's a lot.
Do you have siblings?
I have 2 older ones, and
Oh,
they were
yeah?
actually both quite a bit older. So my sister and my brother are only a year and a half apart, and then I'm 7 years younger than my brother.
Okay.
I'm just curious if there's a birth order reason for different people. You're
Does
asking
it
about
make-
Danny,
Does it make a difference?
or an only, or child, a baby, and or the firstborn. I think there
There's
is,
definitely.
but there's no
Sure.
science that says.
Yeah, there is.
There probably is.
Yeah, there is.
There's a
There's
whole
lots of
science
studies on
about
that,
it.
actually.
Yeah.
Lots of studies.
Yeah.
I think it's real interesting.
The first
I really do.
It is
Because
interesting.
what's your birth order?
First.
And what's yours?
Four.
Baby? Yeah, see,
Well,
it's a good, it's good. You're not gonna, you follow because
we've
you
connected very well.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
I'm the sort of the middle, but there's a big space between my older brother, who's 7 years, and my younger sister, who's 9 years. So I'm sort of an only child.
Yes.
Bev's the younger.
Is
Bev's the
she-
baby. That's why she follows me.
Uh-huh.
That's why when I suggest things,
No,
she
no, no,
goes
no, no.
with it. Yeah.
All the
No,
time.
no, no,
What?
no,
No, that's
Fine.
not. Am I misreading
Wait,
what's going on in my
Michael.
family?
But,
Call it. Call spade.
No.
Right now.
but
So,
Michael, back to
Yeah.
training a child to lead, to be a leader.
Mhm.
Give the child a challenge, as you said, and then kind of play or help them, lead them, or guide them in response to how they, or based upon how they respond to the challenge, I guess is what I was hearing you say. Is that?
Right, but remember, marriage any marriage, you have 2 people. You have both the father and the mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two
Okay.
people.
Yes.
Sometimes they click. Sometimes they feel the same way. They see life the same way. There are times, however, where they don't. This was my case. I loved my wife to pieces. I was in love with her all the time. But she didn't think the way I thought. So, and she had more influence on our number 1 son than I did. And she was a convert, a Christian to Christianity. He was converted since our marriage. So to her, she embraced Christianity so completely that she felt that was the only way. And our number one son, that's how he ought to grow up. And he did. That's fine. I didn't quite agree with her, nor did I disagree with her.
You knew another way.
Right, but so we didn't really work together very well, my son and I. But he did follow his mother's desire and influence, and he joined the oh gosh, what's the name of it? Jesuit order. Became a priest, but the order didn't really handle him very well.
Yeah.
So he became disenchanted with it and left. The Pope observed him.
So he left.
So he left because of something the Pope did? What
No,
do you
no,
mean?
no, no,
Okay.
no. He became disenchanted with the way the order worked. So he did become a priest. He really went all the way. He learned. He was a very sharp student, a fantastic intellectual. That's fine. But so you see, this is where I never would have wanted him to go that route. But he was very close to his mother. That's what his mother wanted, and that's fine.
And after leaving the Jesuits?
Well, so he stayed. He is a scholar.
Yes.
So he's teaching right now. So he got doctorates in a number of things. So he's teaching college.
So when I'd asked you the question some time ago about how children can be leaders, you would started talking about really the basics, which is, you know, for a child to be a leader, they must know who they are. That's really the starting point.
That's right.
So
Still feel the same.
and so can you speak more about that? What does it mean? And how does one train?
It's very simple. Yoga teaches about human identity, who we are. You have a body, but you are not your body. You have energy, but you are not that energy. You have a mind, but you are not your mind. You have intellect, but you are not your intellect. You are Atman, the soul. That's who you are. What is the soul? Again, yoga teaches that the soul is a child of Brahman, child of God. What does God do for a living? God creates one universe after another. There never was the first universe, there will never be the last one. I, as a child of that God, I ought to create. I have a power to create. My power is not nearly as absolute as God's power is. Because God created first universe after another. There never was the first one. Nobody really knows. God's creation is infinite. So,
Or try and teach that in school.
Yeah, oh my God.
But even
Oh my God.
just
Well, the
just
problem would
trying
be
to
church
relay
and
that.
state.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
in our public system,